What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the day. Yesterday, kind of an interesting one. I think we pretty much just completely broke even, if you ask me. I don't know, like PrizePicks, maybe we went down a unit or two, but then if you think, we also had like a better entry hit, which was right here on this channel, and then we had a couple of straight bets hit too, and I want to get into that. But we had a lot of DMPs yesterday, and it mostly hurt us, but it also helped us over here on this entry, not missing this. But this guy DMPs, you know, if some of these guys play, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they go over, they go under, what ends up happening. So again, this guy DMPing, he could have gotten 30 passes and he could have went over, and then this would have been like an 8.75x or whatever instead of a 3.25x. But he also could have gotten 10 passes, so I have no idea. So this guy DMPs, we cashed this 3 out of 3 right here. I think I already went over this League of Legends play yesterday. Same thing here in soccer. This actually happened yesterday, and we were waiting on this XM guy to play his game, but I think he plays this like yesterday morning, and we do cash this for a 5, or not a 5x, a 2.5x, and he does get 5 here when his line was 15, so that was a really good call. And then yesterday's pick was right here. I kind of told you guys that they need about, I would say about like 58 to 60% possession, which sounds high, but this team, Cruz, is a better team. They were the much better team. And if you look at their game, I think I have it pulled up here. Yeah, right here. They actually had 52% possession in that game. Okay, so they had more possession, but it wasn't that kind of 60 mark that we needed for the overs to hit. They do go under because they had less possession than anticipated. Again, you have to understand that this is a team that is a much better team. Like it's almost like I don't know, I'm trying to think of like NFL terms. You know, it's almost like the Rams playing the Panthers or something like that, right? So you expect the Rams to win. So you expect this team to win. You expect them to have like 60, 58% possession, but they only have 52. So they still win. They still have more possession, but they didn't have the possession that really they should have had. But these guys do go under because of it. And again, I'm very big on, as you guys know, taking guys over, under. And when things go under, that's not really a big deal. That's part of our process here, right? We want things to actually go under when they don't have as much possession as we think they will. Another really good example of this is in League of Legends. I talked a lot about League of Legends yesterday. Not going to talk about it as much today. I talk about it a lot on this channel. And you will see this was actually Gen G versus T1. Gen G, similar to what the other team is, not as much, but these are both like top 3, top 5 teams in the world. Gen G is a really, really good team. They're probably top 2 in the world, and T1 is top 5 in the world. So Gen G was actually the better team. They were more favored in this game than not. And you'll see that actually what ends up happening is T1, the other team, ends up winning 2-0. So they upset Gen G, especially when Gen G doesn't even win a game. So because Gen G doesn't win a game, you'll see it was 4-13. So as I always say, the winning team is going to get more than the losing team in kills. That's just a fact of League of Legends. The winning team normally gets about 2 to 3x the amount of kills as the losing team. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but most of the time it's about 2 to 3x. 4-13, and you'll see the losing team, which was Gen G here, 2 kills, 0 kills, 1 kill, 1 kill. So everyone goes under, everyone has a bad game. Now, this one, a little bit of a different type of game, but it was 15-17, so still, the winning team does get more kills. Now, Gen G plays better, and they get closer here, but 15 kills here, pretty much everyone goes under as well. I believe we bet on Canyon, if I'm remembering correctly. Yes, we bet on Canyon. And even though he gets 6 kills in this game, he still goes under his line. He was probably the guy who performed the best on these two teams, or on this team, and he still goes under. And I believe we also bet on Chovy, if I stand corrected. Yeah, Chovy gets 2. So these guys both go under together because they lose the game, right? If they would have won both games, they probably would have went over together, okay? So I was hoping that they probably have like 1 out of the 2 wins, and these guys were going to be able to squeak over, but obviously they lose, right? Sometimes we're going to be right about League of Legends, like we were right here. We take the overs and they win the game and they go over together. Sometimes we're going to take the unders and they lose the game, and we're going to be right about that. And sometimes, just like this game in soccer where we took the overs and they go under, sometimes we're going to take the overs and they go under. And as you're going to see, this Dota play does hit this morning. It doesn't matter because the play misses, but that's a good example right there, right? Now, rest of the things here, this was another DMP for us. So again, we had a DMP right here in the MLB. So this was actually a refund. So, you know, it doesn't even matter about me going over this because it was just a complete refund for us. So we had a DMP here, a DMP here, a DMP here. This one was the only good DMP for us. And then we had a DMP here, which was also weird because this game actually happened. I thought maybe this game had like a weather delay or something. It didn't. both these guys just ended up getting subbed out. Both these guys just ended up not getting subbed out. They just both didn't even play in the game. So, it is what it is. We had a setup here for the morning. We had this yesterday morning, and these guys don't play. So this one was refunded where we could have potentially got a 8 or 9x for it, all right? So I feel like I'm talking a lot, but this is stuff that you're going to go through sports betting, guys. I will say the better entry does cash for us. This was yesterday's play on better. Took Bree Stewart to go over. She does her thing and hits her line. And then took Vino under 23.5 kills in maps 1 through 2. He goes ahead and hits. This is a 3x on better. And then we had 2 straight bets on NOVIG, and NOVIG has been my favorite app to be betting on straight bets for a couple of reasons. One, they don't have juice. That's why it's called NOVIG. VIG, juice, it's kind of the same thing. And it's a peer-to-peer betting exchange where you'll never get limited, okay, which is why I really like about it. If you want to look more into the NOVIG, the juice side of things, you can do that. But I'm telling you guys, NOVIG is the best app to be betting on for these straight bets. I would say NOVIG, KALSHI, and Polymarket, okay? NOVIG, KALSHI, Polymarket, and ProfitX. I'm going to put ProfitX in there as well. If you do want to sign up for any of these apps that I talk about, like Better, like NOVIG, ProfitX, Rebet is also a great app that you can bet straight bets on. You can sign up using my code. So you can sign up using my code with NOVIG or Rebet or Sleeper or Fliff or KALSHI, Underdog Fantasy, Dabble. A lot of you guys told me about Underdog Fantasy having 12 X's for 3-mans. So I'm gonna maybe start playing some. For 4-mans. I'm gonna start maybe playing some 4-mans on Underdog. They don't have correlation on Underdog, which is, you guys know I love correlation, but 12x is going to be hard to pass up. So I'll be throwing in some Underdog plays in there. I really want to just use every app possible that we can make money on, right? I always talk about Better and Sleeper. Underdog, we can make money on Underdog. I'm confident in that. I'm going to be sending out some Underdog plays for you guys. PrizePicks, of course, is like 80%, 90% of what we bet on. And, if you have any other apps, any other things that you guys want me to bet on, just let me know. But more of the story here, guys, is if you do not have any of these apps, you can sign up for any of these apps, and I'll give you 1 month free of the VIP for any of these apps. So if you want to sign up for Sleeper and Underdog, text me Sleeper and Underdog, and I'll get you guys signed up for that, and there'll be 2 months free of the VIP for doing that, all right? So my number is right here. Just text me. Again, you can text me the word Better. You can text me the word NOVIG, Fliff, ProfitX, whatever. I'll send you the instructions, and I'll get you guys 1 month free of the VIP for each thing that you do. The last thing I did want to go over was right here. This is a complete 0-4, and a lot of people, when you see an 0-4, they'll be like, man, this is a horrible play. You gotta swallow your losses here. And yes, it was not a good play, but I already went over that this was correlated together because they went 0-2. And then in Valorant, this was also very correlated. So I was hoping this was going to be a shorter game. That's why I took the unders. But if we look at the game in Valorant, this is VLR.GG. This is my favorite Valorant site to check all the Valorant games. Here's the game right here. And as you guys know how Valorant works, the longer a game goes on, the more kills that are going to happen. The shorter a game is, the less kills are going to happen. So you'll see that this game was 13-15. It goes into overtime. It was over an hour long. This is a really easy way to see how long a game was. It's just the time, right? It was over an hour long. And if you look at all the players, 27, 20, 16, 19, 14, 24, 25, 19, 24, 14. So literally the lowest amount of kills that anyone got in this game was 14, and most of these guys went way over that and got in the 20s, okay? So there are some games in Valorant that are short games where they're 13-2, 13-3, where the highest number of kills that someone gets is 14, okay? So think about that. The lowest number that anyone got was 14 in this game. The highest that people get sometimes is 14 in a game where it's a shorter game, right? The second game was kind of middle of the road. It was 50 minutes long. About 50 to 45 minutes is right around the middle of the road. An hour or longer is going to be a longer game where the overs are likely to hit. And the third game was about 40. When you're getting into the 40s or the 30s, like low 40s, 30, 35, that is a shorter type of game, and this was a shorter game. And you will see even here, this wasn't the shortest game ever, but it was 13-5. Once you start getting into 13-3, 13-2, those are the real short games. But you'll even see here 20, 14, 13, 14, 11, 17, 13, 8, 9, 4. So especially this team here, literally everyone on this team gets a low number of kills because it was a shorter game. All that matters in Valorant is game length. If the game is longer, more kills. If the game is shorter, less kills, right? It's just like soccer, how possession matters, or League of Legends, it's wins and losses. Valorant, all that matters is game length, okay? So this is what we do, guys. We pair up correlated duos, right? So what ends up happening here is a long game. I'm just going to put L for that. And these guys take an L, so they lose, right? So I was wrong about all four of these, or both of these things happening. But if I was right about both of these things happening, I would only need to get two things correct. I would need to get the game length correct and the win-loss correct. And if I was just to get two things correct, we would hit a 4-man from it. And this is the main strategy that I talk about, guys. Instead of needing to get 4 things correct, where you need 4 separate things to happen, we just needed 2 separate things to happen. Now, it didn't happen today, but it happened, it's going to happen eventually, right? And as we get into some of these massive days that I talk about, this is where these things happen. It's pretty much the end of July, guys. Talked about this quite a lot. The first 17 days of July, we had a massive winning streak. Well, that was crazy, a massive winning streak. And then we kind of had like a 9 to 10 day slump. And the past 3 days, so since the 27th of July, we've just kind of had like okay days or just kind of up and down, like break even days, which is really what yesterday was. So it's been a very like cut and dry month, right? We had an insanely good run, then we had a bad run, and then we just have kind of like treaded water a little bit for the past 3 days. So these are all days that are possible on the VIP. You can have incredible days, you can have bad days, and you can have just kind of break even days. But over the course of this past month, I had about 200 entries, right? If you add all this up, about 200 entries, 40 wins, you're going to see that we lose most of the time, but when we do win, it's going to be big 4-man hits, and we went up 60 units, which is incredible. If we can go up 60 units every single month, I don't know the math there, but that's like a 600 plus unit month, or a 600 plus unit year, right? That'd be like 700, 800 units over the year, which would be absolutely insane. And normally I have about a 400 to 500 unit month, unit year, okay? So again, take all this in consideration. It was a really good month. Now that we're ending at the end of the month and being able to look back into the past, the last 30 days were very good. We went up about 60 to 55 units over this past month, all right? So let's get into the plays. I know I talked a lot, but hopefully you guys learned something about Valorant, League of Legends, soccer, football. We're going to be doing that, of course, as the football season rolls around. Now, on BETR, I'm taking Artist to go under 12.5 headshots in his game. This is in Counter-Strike. This is happening tomorrow morning. So go ahead and lock this in right here on Counter-Strike. And then, of course, with BETR, why we take BETR entries is because there are discounts every day. There's 3 discounts on BETR today. There is a discount on the MLB, there is a discount on the UFC, and I believe there's a discount on Counter-Strike, okay? So esports discount, there is a MLB discount, and there is a UFC discount, okay? So as I tell you guys, there's about 2 to 3 discounts a day on BETR and on Sleeper, and you can make about $200 to $300 a month just taking these entries. Over the course of a year, again, that's a couple $1,000s that you can make just by clicking some buttons on your phone, right? So I'm sure all of us can use a couple $1,000 a year betting and just clicking buttons on your phone with Sleeper and with BETR. It's so nice every single month to be able to withdraw a couple $100 a month from BETR and Sleeper, and you can just pay off some sort of bill you have, right? Like a car bill or whatever it is. You can literally buy a car, finance a car with BETR and Sleeper just using the discounts that they give you every day over the course of a month. But with anything in life, you got to be consistent with it, and you got to think long term. It's like going to the gym. I'm sure you guys don't want to bet on Sleeper and BETR every day, but it's like going to the gym. Over the course of a couple of weeks, over the course of a couple of months, you're going to see that bankroll increase, and you're going to see pretty much, you're going to be happy with what you see pretty much, right? Just like going to the gym. So go ahead and lock that in on BETR there, guys. As I told you guys earlier, you can go ahead and sign up for BETR. Just text me. My number's on the screen. All right. Now, the PrizePicks play of the day. I think like 3 to 4 days ago, we hit for a 5X, and then we missed with correlation. We hit with correlation, then we missed the MLB play, and then yesterday's play DMP'd. So let's try to get everything match up together again. As you guys know, in soccer, I already went over this, and I go over this every day. But what we do in soccer is called correlation. How this works is we either take the overs or the unders. If these guys have a lot of possession, they're going to have more passes. If these guys have less possession as a team, you see we're betting on this New England team. If New England has a ton of possession, these guys are likely to go over. If they have less possession, they're going to go under. It's 2 birds with 1 stone. We need one thing to happen, which is high possession, and if that happens, both these guys should go over. If you look at their past 5, 10, 15 games, it's the same story for these guys. If they have a lot of possession, they're going to hit together. If they have low possession, their passing attempt line fluctuates with each other. So if this guy gets 30 passes, this guy is also likely to get probably 25 to 30 passes. If this guy gets 90 passes, for example, then this guy's likely to get 80 or 90 passes as well, okay? So these guys, they move together because when this guy is passing to his teammates, and this guy is obviously on his team, all right? So we have Carlos Gil, and we have Fafanda, I believe is how you say that name. Again, they're on the same team, so they're going to be passing to each other back and forth and back and forth. And as you guys have ever watched a soccer game, I'm sure you have, you guys know that 99% of the game is just passing, right? Goals happen maybe once a game, but most of the game is passing, which is what we're betting on soccer, right? So that is that. I'm taking the overs for these guys for Fonda and Gill here. And then the second part of this is not correlated, but it's a really good play here, is going to be Murakami, and we're going to take him over 4.5 hitter fantasy score on the White Sox here, okay? And let me show you guys his line here. You will see in the past 10 games, he has been crushing it. He's had a really good streak. Yes, last game he did not hit against the Yankees, but what I really love about this is that he is doing at least something, all right? So what I do not like to see in some of these MLB players is when they just go 0 for 4 and they get 0 hits, or they just step up to the mound and they do step up to the plate and they do absolutely nothing. That's what sucks for me. You'll see that he is at least putting a hit up every single day, okay? And what that means for me is it means that there's opportunity, right? Maybe that hit's going to turn into a double, right? Maybe that hit's going to turn into a stolen base. Something can happen with that hit. A lot of times he is getting 2, 3 hits, home runs, stuff like that, and he's on a really good streak. But you'll see that in the past 10 games, he has literally never gotten just a straight up goose egg 0 hitter fantasy score. So that shows me consistency. That shows me that he's seeing the ball well. White Sox have also been a pretty good team to bet on recently, or not bet on, but they've been doing well over this past month or two. And this guy has also been doing well with them, okay? So again, you see that some of these games he's putting up 41, 20 fantasy score, and doing very well, hitting home runs, doing his thing in the MLB, okay? I also really like when guys get 5 plate appearances. In the MLB, some guys are going to get 3 plate appearances. It's rare, but it does happen. Most people get 4, and then every now and again, you get players that can have 5 plate appearances, and it's really reserved for the best hitters on their team, like a Yordan Alvarez or something like that, okay? So go ahead and take him over. I do like that he gets 5 plate appearances because you get that extra at-bat. This is the play of the day, guys. You guys know where to find me. My number is on the screen right here. If you guys do want to sign up for Kalshi, for Underdog, for BETR, for Sleeper, all these apps that I promote every day, guys, you can get a free month of the VIP with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys tuning in every day, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.